Hello guys, welcome back to my channel BST African Electronic Surgery on a Tuesday 14 March 2023. So today we have to learn something new guys, okay? So let me adjust my webcam. That should be fine. So what we have this HP laptop. It's HP. Let me see the model. It's HP 655 G1. This laptop came from another computer shop. The laptop was booked in as no backlights. The laptop is turning on, but we don't have light on the screen. But if you put light, you can see some writings there. So I never uploaded any video fixing backlights on a laptop, so we'll learn something new today, okay? So this is coming from another computer shop. Obviously they tried everything. They changed 2-3 screens and the backlights did not come, okay? Mostly backlights, they are as a result of many factors. Maybe they try to swap the screen without taking out the battery. Yeah, in that way you can lose your backlights, or it can be anything, okay? So what I would do, we do have the charger here. Let's check this charger. Because it's already plugged on the power source. And our charger is 19.56. You can see on the multimeter down there. 19.56. Our charger is fine. Plug in the charger. We have the power on light. You can see that the power on light. What I will do, here we have the switch button here. There must be another light for the switch there. You can see. Our laptop is now on. I can see some writing here on top, here. Maybe you can't see, but I want you to see that. So let's take out the top cover. Our laptop is still on. Let's take out the top cover. And we want to come with the light from the back. Maybe you can see what I'm seeing here. Yes, it's still on. What I want to do, I think we can do some little tricks here. Maybe you can't. Maybe you can't. No, you can't see anything. Let me turn off this light. You can't see anything there. I thought maybe we shall see something, but it seems we can't. We can't. The laptop is still on. Where is my phone? Maybe if I try with the phone. Let me check for my phone 1 second. Let's see now. I'm using my phone. No. I thought maybe you can see something, but you can't see. So before I can fix this, let's explain a few things how the backlight circuit is working on laptop motherboards, okay? Let's learn a few things about laptop screens, how they are working. Let's learn something how the backlights are working on laptop screens, okay? So let's go back a little bit. I explained these things several times, but we have to redo it again, okay? So we have our 19 volts, that's our 19 volts from the charging port. After that, we have the first MOSFET, second MOSFET, let's call this one M to the power 1, M to the power 2. These are MOSFETs which are acting like switches. After that, we have our current sensor, very low ohms resistor, maybe around 0.5 to 0.9 resistor, current sensor, okay? That's our current sensor. After that, we have our VCC. From this point, our voltage is going everywhere. We have the 3.3 volts, which is always on. We have a 1.5 volts for the RAM. We have 1 volts processor. We have 5 volts USBs and many voltages. So after that, what do we have here? Here we have our startup chip. From this 3.3 volts, which is always on, we have 2 outputs for 3.3, 2 outputs for 5 volts, and from the VREC 3, on the 3.3 and 5 volts power supply. It's like a dual power supply, but it has got 4 outputs there. From this VREC 3, our SIO or a startup chip or can be South Bridge, so many names, ITE, ENE. From this VREC 3, this controller is getting power, is working on 3.3 volts, okay? So we explained many things, many times about these things, but what do we have more? Here we do have the LED screen. Most of the laptops nowadays, they are using LED screens. Long ago there were LCDs, that's liquid crystal display, and now we have light emanating diode, okay? LED screens. So how these screens they are working? We have 2 main important voltages there. We have 19 volts. This 19 volts is coming straight from the VCC. We have 19 volts there. Going to the screen. If you check on the screen connector, you have a fuse, something like a fuse, and from there the voltage is going to light up the screen. Okay, this 19 volts is to light the screen, and we have from the 3.3 volts power supply here, we have another voltage going to the screen, 3.3 volts also going to the screen. Okay, and these are two voltages which are important on the screen side. 19 volts for the backlights, and this one for data. Okay, so what this controller is also doing is sending two signals to the screen. We have a LED enable, and we have a power on. If you check on the back of the screen, we have some test points for these two things. LED enable, the one is to adjust brightness, and the one is to power on the screen. Okay, that's what these two signals are doing. So if you don't have backlights, you check on this 19. If you have 19, if you don't have 19, what I'm doing, I'm checking. If I don't have 19 on the screen panel, I can come with a wire from the motherboard to the screen. In that way we have backlights. Okay, if you have 19, check for this voltage 3.3. Mostly if you have mostly this voltage is always on the screen, but here on the signals, that's where the problem is. You might find here 3.3 volts, here maybe 0, like 0. So in that way, what I'm doing, I'll jump over these two test points from here to here and straight to the 3.3 volts power supply. So that's how the screens are working. Okay, so it's very important. If you have a light but no picture on the screen, that means the motherboard has already passed the test. So your fault is not from the motherboard side. Okay, your fault, either you have a faulty screen or your screen ribbon cable is faulty. The easy way is to connect your external HDMI or VGA cable and see if you have something on the second screen. Okay, but if you have writing but no light, check for these test points. You check here. That's the first one. You check 3.3, second one. You check for these two signals. These 4 points. Okay, so let's go back to our problem and see what's going on there. So let's see now. Charger plugged. I'll power on the laptop. It's on. Alright, 1 second. need to check few things there. Let's power on the laptop. Our laptop is on. Okay, it's now on. Let's check few things there. We have to check few things there. We do have a fuse here, 3.3. On the output of the fuse, 3.3. So that 3.3 which we talked about is on. We have another fuse here which I believe is the 19 volts. What do we have? We have like 0.86. On the other side we have 0.86. That's not good. Let's leave that aside. Let's look for those two test points, backlight and airboard here, 2.999, power on 3.3. I believe 2.99 is okay. So my problem is not from those two test points, but the problem here on this fuse is meant to work with the 19 volts and the 19 volts is not present. Here we have a 19.64. So the input fuse does not have voltage, but here on this capacitor, after the backlight converter IC chip, we do have 19.3. So where this voltage is coming from? This looks weird to me. So what we will do in this case, let's unplug the charger here. Let's put our multimeter on diode mode. Let's check if that fuse is good. This fuse is good. Let's check to ground. It's not shorted. So I'll show you how we can fix this, okay? So let's see now that the fuse which we checked, and there was a 3.3, and here we have the screen, that's the screen connector. After the screen connector we have this fuse which is meant to supply 19 volts. So I'll check this fuse. It's not shorted to ground on the input, on the output. It's not shorted. The fuse itself is good. So let's fix this problem quickly. Let's fix this quickly. Because we have too many jobs there. The fuse is good, but we have voltage. The 19 volts is after the backlight inverter IC chip, but here it's not present. This looks new to me. This looks new to me. Let's use flux. Let's do some little tricks here. Okay. So good. So what I will do, I will jump this wire to where I tested before. Where is that test point? Here. I checked there was 19 on this point. Here there was 19. So I'm coming with my jumper there, and you see what's going on. I'm sorry, I know my microscope is not great, but I'll try to buy a better microscope in the future. I'll try to do so. If all things goes well with me. Yeah. Okay. That's all. That's all. All what is left is to test. And those two signals which I said, you see, those two signals which I said, that's for the the backlight enable and the power on test point. Okay, so there must be 3.3 on each and every test point. If we don't have 3.3, you can jump all those test points to 3.3 volts power supply. Okay, so what we have done, we came with the wire from this test point, which we have 19 volts, back to the input fuse. Okay, because from this point we must have 19 volts there. So let's see now. All what is left is to test, to see if we have a working laptop here. Maybe it's a partial shortage, because I don't understand why there's no 19 volts there. I don't understand. That looks weird to me, but let's see. On. Let's see now. I can't see any writing. Okay, 1 second, let me check for something. Let's see now. On. Look what the screen is doing. We have light, but the writing is normal. So I think that's the case where we don't understand what's going on the screen panel there. You can see some lines, but I don't think this screen is fault. So let's try something else. Okay, let's try something else. Let's try something else. Let me take off the screen. Don't need it at the moment. Let's try something else. Well, something's wrong on the 19 volts power rail from the motherboard to the screen. Hopefully I'll get a test point so easy. I didn't want this job to be so long, but I'm used to such kind of disappointments. To me, it's not a big deal. I think I need to take all the screws out. Oh, all the screws that are missing. That's good. That's good to me. That's why I like jobs from other technicians, because they make my job easy. Let's do some tricks here, because I don't think the screen is faulty, because at first I've seen some lights there. So we need like a proper test point here. Need like a proper test point. We can power on, or we can check. You can check without the screen. We want to look for 19 volts power rail. Yeah, 19.57. So let's come with our jumper quickly. That must be a quick job. Let's come with 19 from the main motherboard. Because I don't think we have a 40 screen here. But this motherboard want to play with me. This motherboard want to play with me. I have a feeling that it's no longer a game here. So this is not something complicated, but it's so boring. So so boring. Now all what we have to do is to come with that 19 volts on the input of the fuse where it's supposed to be 19, but our 19 volts is missing. That's all what we have to do. Hopefully this time that will solve the problem. I just have hope. At this time our problem will be solved. Was this just a backlight problem? That should not be complicated to fix. Should we test? So I just came with 19 volts from the main board, from the main 19 volts power rail to the screen. That's what I just did here. So hopefully that will solve the problem. If not, we have a big problem. Let's put all together and test at once. I didn't know this issue of backlights would take me that far. I didn't know that. Where's the front cover? I was thinking that is something like less than 10 minutes job, but I can see on my OBS around 39 minutes. Let's see now. On. And it's working. You see? No bootable device. You see? we now have backlights. So this is how you can fix backlights if you don't have backlights. So I can see on my OBS is around 40 minutes trying to fix this problem, because that was like a confusion to me, because I don't understand why on the input fields we don't have 19, but after the inverter chip we're having 19 volts there on the input of the inverter power supply. We're having 19 volts, which I don't know where that 19 volts is coming from. But this job is done. I'll stop now. Like, subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell. See you on the next one. Bye.